The Marcellus is a very phenomenal play. It's so big and so prolific. It covers parts of 5 states. The shale itself is a good shale, and when I say good, I mean it's got good organic content, and that's critical when developing a shale. This is a piece of the Marcellus Shale, and this is what we target when we're drilling the wells. It's rock, and this is what we drill through, and this is where we get the gas from. We look at, of course, with the subsurface geology, do we feel comfortable with the rock in that location? We look at topography, that's a big factor. The terrain here in the Marcellus is very complex. Nothing's flat, nothing's straight. Then you have to bring in the landowners, the surface owners, who we have to work with to ensure that we put a drill pad on a place that they're comfortable with.
I'm a senior landman. I've been in the oil and gas industry for approximately 12 years. A landman is the point of contact between surface owners, mineral owners, and the companies who are going to develop the resources. A geologist finds it, an engineer finds a way to get the oil or gas out of the ground, and the landman is to make sure that we have the contractual rights to do so. One of the first things to understand about an oil and gas lease is you're not conveying the ownership of your rights. You're granting the company who is going to drill a well the ability and the rights to drill the property and to develop those minerals.
Initially, we meet with the landowners to at least get their buy-in in terms of the concept of siting a well pad on their property. It's a fairly large area, as you can see. Once we've had that conversation, then we'll look at the unit area, which encompasses about 640 acres here in Pennsylvania. The permit that we file is called an APD. It's a permit to drill a well, and it encompasses various elements. When we submit it to the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection for review, they first look at it from an administrative viewpoint to make sure everything is encompassed in that filing that's required. Then that permit goes through a technical review where they look at the well plan, the geology behind everything to make sure that that is correct. And then finally it goes through a final administrative review before it's complete.
Safety is an incredibly important part of not only planning a well, but executing the construction of that well. In fact, I would suggest that it is the most important part of planning a well and executing a well. As an example, every day on every one of our locations, we start out with a tailgate safety meeting, whether we're drilling a well, completing a well. Also, we have a very strong culture in ensuring that any worker on location has the ability to shut down that operation if they find or deem anything as unsafe.
One of the number one concerns from the public is what we do, which is called hydraulic fracturing, or fracking as the public calls it. What that entails is using water and sand to fracture the Marcellus Shale, which is a rock about as hard as concrete. It has entrained in it gas, methane, and in order to get that gas out, you have to fracture the rock. So we use high pressure water and sand, which fills those voids and allows the gas to flow up through the casing and to the surface. Now, we use 99% water and sand to do that. The remaining 1% are constituents which are listed at fracfocus.org on the website. We're one of the first operators in Pennsylvania to do so.
One of the most critical aspects of planning a well is the environmental and the health and the safety aspects of that location and that well. Out here in Pennsylvania, there are numerous wetlands that have to be accounted for. You know, those have certain biological aspects that we don't want to disturb, and therefore we'll work with landowners, we'll work with the agencies at the state of Pennsylvania. And then we have our own internal staff of environmental specialists that have a diverse background in biology, environmental consulting, and so forth. So it's really a group effort. We try to come together to find a location that has the least overall impact in that given area.